Jeff Shepard joined the Nixon White House as an attorney fresh out of Harvard Law School in 1969. And for the next 5 years, he worked for the 37th president, either as a staff lawyer or as part of his defense team during the Watergate scandal.
I was bitter about it. I felt our side of the story didn't get out, but I didn't think there was wrongdoing on their part.
In 2004, Shepard said he finished a first draft of a memoir of his time as a young witness to Nixon's ouster from power. In order to fill in the gaps, he went to the National Archives in Washington to look up specific dates, names, and other details. That memoir became the book, The Real Watergate Scandal: Collusion, Conspiracy, and the Plot That Brought Nixon Down. Working with archivists in the special section where the Watergate files were held, Shepard discovered memoranda, letters, and other records of an extra-legal conspiracy to destroy the Nixon presidency and more. Shepard told One American News only 7 lawyers on a staff of more than 90 at the Watergate prosecutor's office were assigned to the Watergate break-in and cover-up. The rest were sent out to accomplish 3 goals: destroy the Nixon presidency, disrupt the GOP's fundraising apparatus by harassing contributors and operatives, and finally to assemble opposition research files on potential presidential candidates in 1976.
I started uncovering documents that just make your hair stand up. It turns out there was massive judicial and prosecutorial abuse during the course of the Watergate investigations and prosecution.
The chief architect of misconduct was the original special prosecutor, Archibald Cox, he said. Shepard said as special prosecutor, Cox and his team worked with Judge John Sirica with the full knowledge and cooperation of Judge David Bazelon, the chief judge of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia, the D.C. Circuit. Between Cox's appointment as Watergate special prosecutor in May 1973 and Nixon's resignation in August 1974, Shepard said he uncovered at least 12 meetings between Sirica and the Watergate prosecutors where they plotted their cooperation during the Watergate break-in and cover-up trials, he said. These meetings continued after Nixon fired Cox and replaced him with Leon Jaworski.
Secret meetings with the judge, hiding evidence that would have benefited the defense, the false sentencing of John Dean, even stacking the deck on appeals, so that there was no benefit from going to the D.C. Circuit.
Shepard said it always gnawed at him that not only did Sirica always rule against the Nixon side, his rulings were always upheld by the higher court led by Bazelon.
You get an automatic right of appeal to the circuit courts. The deck was stacked. Every issue, we lost, the other side won.
In regular practice, 3 circuit judges are randomly selected to hear appeals from the lower court. But Shepard said Cox and Bazelon did not want to take any risks with Sirica, so Bazelon ordered all appeals be heard en banc, or by all 9 judges.
Bazelon was in on open and shut. What is amazing, and it's right there in plain sight in retrospect, there are 12 criminal appeals from Judge Sirica's various trials, Watergate trials. In every single appeal, it's heard by the D.C. Circuit with all 9 judges from the outset.
Shepard said Democrats took advantage of the Watergate scandal to take down Nixon because, like President Donald Trump, he was an outsider trying to break up the power establishment in Washington.
You had the very people who lost power when Nixon won in 1968, the top echelon of the Department of Justice, now suddenly back in charge, having all of the investigatory and prosecutory power of the Department of Justice unreviewed, to go after the person who beat them in the election.
Shepard told One American News that there are many similarities between the special prosecutors during the Watergate scandal and special counsel Robert Mueller and his team tasked with investigating possible collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russians. The big difference is that in Watergate, actual crimes were committed. Neil W. McCabe, One American News, Washington.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.